This one is one that I feel like most guys would agree with. This one is, am I the jerk for being furious with my pregnant wife over a prank? I'm 31. I have been with my wife, Lisa, since college, and she's currently 7 months pregnant with our first baby. My wife, Lisa, is witty and likes to play jokes on me. For example, she likes to pass off fake facts and stories as if they're real and see if I'll believe them. Lisa was a theater kid, and so she's great at acting and sells these stories. I used to fall for her pranks all the time since I'm pretty gullible, and she's so convincing. However, now that I've been with her for so many years, I can typically tell when she's been messing with me. She upped the antics over the years, and so she can occasionally get me to believe her jokes. But today, when I got home from work, Lisa had tears in her eyes and told me she needed to talk to me about something. I was seriously worried and sat down with her immediately. I asked what was wrong several times, and she kept saying it was hard to talk about and she was terrified I'd leave her. I kept pressing, and she told me she had an affair with her boss several months ago and wasn't sure if the baby was mine. I asked if she was serious, and she said she was 100% serious and started crying even harder. I got up, started pacing, and tried to gather my thoughts. After a few minutes, Lisa bursted into laughter and said she was just joking. I was furious. I said it wasn't funny in the slightest to make jokes about cheating and a child not being mine. Lisa then said she was a bit offended that I believed that specific prank and not several others, but she also said that she couldn't believe I actually thought she'd cheat on me. She then got teary and asked why I didn't trust her. I asked why I would trust her after she pulled that prank on me, managed to cry telling me about it, and continued with the prank even though I was visibly upset. Lisa said it was harmless and I was blowing things way out of proportion. She continued to ask why I didn't trust her, and I told her I needed some space. I ended up going to a speakeasy and having been away from the house ever since. Even though Lisa has called several times. I know it was a prank, but I think this joke went way too far, especially with the tears. I was so clearly upset as anyone would be, and she should have stopped it as soon as she realized I was actually falling for it. Usually Lisa's jokes are funny, but this one really got to me for some reason. Am I the jerk, and am I overreacting? I feel badly because she's very pregnant with my child and I don't want to stress her out, but I need space right now. I have been with my wife for quite some time now, and we have a child. And at one point she made like the smallest comment, trying to like wisecrack, like, oh, what if it wasn't yours? And I knew she was joking at the time. She was just trying to like playfully say something in the moment. And I dead stopped right at the moment. And I said, do not joke about that. That is like a man's biggest fear, is to wind up finding out that their significant other is lying to them about their child and that it's not really theirs. Like, it is such a deep-rooted thing to just be absolutely terrified of something like this. And I don't blame this poster at all, because obviously it sounds like she's good at acting here. She was full on crying while she was delivering this news. I mean, I would be super pissed. I wouldn't let this go. I can't even imagine what this dude is going through right now. And I do not blame him for being beyond upset. And frankly, the wife needs to understand like how damaging and harmful this could be. Like, this can seed so much doubt in somebody that what if he now wants a paternity test right when the baby is born? Is that going to ruin this moment just because you wanted to play a prank, because you thought it'd be funny to mess with your husband's mind, because you wanted to push him so far over the edge? Like, you saw him start freaking out and you just wanted to push it further. There's no way that the wife is in the right here. Like, I don't care how much that this was just a prank, bro, or whatever. Like, really hitting a core of what so many husbands fear, that this is not something that should be joked about. This is not something that you should ever mess with. You can try and argue something about pregnancy hormones for her thinking that this was okay or something, because I've heard some crazy horror stories or whatever, but that's just an excuse at this point. She should have seen that the person she's married to, the person that she's supposed to connect her life with, that she's supposed to have this child with, was visibly upset and terrified and panicking. And all she wanted to do was push this stupid frickin' prank a little further. This poster's not in the wrong, and she needs to understand that. Am I the jerk for hiring a private investigator to follow my boyfriend because his work wife gives me bad vibes? So here's the deal. I, a 26-year-old female, have a boyfriend who's 28 years old, and he has a work wife. At first, which, by the way, work wife, whatever term, is very frustrating, and even playing around with that idea, that starts stepping into some gray areas that it's just kind of disrespectful to your current relationship if you play along with stuff like that. At first, I thought it was no big deal, even kind of cute that they had a friend at work he could vent to and joke around with, but lately I've noticed he's been talking about her a lot. He mentioned things she said, funny jokes they shared, and even how she totally gets him. And to make things worse, he's been working late and going to more after work drinks than usual. Starting to see where this is going. I confronted him a couple of times about it, and he laughed it off, saying it was just paranoia. So I decided to hire a private investigator to see if I was more right about something. I honestly didn't think I'd find anything. I just wanted peace of mind. I think you probably thought you might find something. Turns out they went out for dinner last Friday after work. My boyfriend told me he was wrapping up a project, but he was at a nice restaurant with her. I confronted him with evidence, and he was furious, saying I had crossed a line and invaded his privacy. He insists it was an innocent dinner and that he didn't tell me because he knew I'd freak out. Now he's barely talking to me, and a couple of friends I told think I went way overboard, but I just had a gut feeling, Am I the jerk for hiring a PI, or private investigator? And here is where you shouldn't believe everything you read online, because sometimes people just like to post stuff for fun. Because the very first commenter here says, "You're the jerk because this is 100% BS." Because in this post, she claims to have a boyfriend and she's 26 years old, but 4 hours previously, she had just deleted another post where she said she's 29 years old and had a boyfriend she's been with for 6 years, and has this long drawn out post about the life they have together and that they were splitting up. So this is stuff that I have to constantly wade through on Reddit and Facebook and wherever the hell else I find stories, because there's so much fake BS out there, and it's so frustrating. This poster's the jerk because they're lying. They're making us feel like we're trying to help out somebody who is totally full of crap.